I'd like to call to order this October 15th meeting of Springfield Historic Commission. In order to enable municipal government to continue its important work during the COVID-19 pandemic, while assuring both city employees and citizens can satisfy CDC social distance guidelines, the city of Springfield is providing public notice that will conduct a public hearing using remote technology. To view the public hearing, channel 17 on Springfield Comcast Network or Focus Springfield Community TV website at http://focusspringfield.com/watch/government. Public commentary will also be taken in two segments. The first public comment period will take place prior to the meeting discussion. The second public comment period will take place after the meeting and will remain open for 24 hours after the meeting. To provide for public comment in writing, mail Springfield Historic Commission, 70 Tapley Street, Springfield, 01104, or email aallen@springfieldcityhall.com. And to provide for public comment by voicemail, 413-750-3223. Messages received will be played at the Historic Commission hearing or at the continued hearing date. All commentators should state their name, address, and company or organizational affiliation in addition to the items their comments pertain to. Voice messages received 24 hours before the hearing will be put into the record during the public hearing, and comments after the meeting will be entered at the continued date for the hearing. Voice messages are limited to 2 minutes. To request a reasonable accommodation or language service, please call 413-787-6020. So I have Commissioner Walsh is present. Is Commissioner Nardi on? No. Commissioner Belton? Commissioner Duquette? Commissioner McFarland?
Present.
Commissioner Rowe? Commissioner Finn?
Yes.
Commissioner Kroll?
Present.
And Commissioner Schultes? So at the meeting currently we have Commissioner Walsh, McFarland, Finn, and Kroll. And just a note, we are our commission is a quorum of the committee, and in order for any issue to pass, it has to have 4 votes. For anything, because we only have 4 commissioners tonight, any item before the commission, in order to have a passed vote, has to have unanimous agreement between the 4 commissioners on. Hopefully 1 or 2 more will join us as we get underway. Okay, we have minutes. Has that been able to review the minutes? I'd entertain a motion to accept the minutes for the Thursday, June 4th, 2020 meeting.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes for our last meeting.
Well, this is way before the last meeting.
Oh, I'm sorry, the June meeting.
Yes, thank you. Can I get a second on that motion?
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor, let me do a roll call vote. Commissioner Walsh says yes, accept. Commissioner McFarland?
Yes.
And Commissioner Finn?
Yes.
Commissioner Kroll?
Yes.
Okay, the minutes are accepted. I will sign that and return it to them. Okay. There are no tabled items, so we'll continue our public hearings. 44 Ferglade. Okay. This is regarding, hold on, let me just. Is the petitioner, oh yeah, Mary Beth, I see you there for this.
Here I am.
Yep, this is regarding your deck flooring. I see that you did some research and found something different.
Yes, well, I was
Tell us
told
about
this was only available in pewter, but now it's available in other colors.
Okay.
So it's nice.
Good. In which color were you? There's not.
Weathered Ipe.
Okay, so this mimics the tongue and groove porch
Yeah,
wood
yeah,
that you're replacing?
Yes, it's the same measurements and everything, which is
Excellent.
very cool. Yep,
It
it's a
is.
nice
And
product.
we appreciate you taking the time to find that and at least finding a color that you think is appropriate for your porch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do any commissioners have any questions regarding this new product?
Do not.
No? Nobody?
Hey,
Now, is there a specific, I'm looking for a specific, like brand and number. Must be here. There's a lot of new
I
pictures.
did send that in to Alvin with a photo of the product. It's a Wolf Serenity Porch.
Okay, well, I'm just
Wolf
gonna
is
look.
the company.
Yep, Wolf Serenity
Yep.
Porch. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of pictures. You got us a lot of information. I'm just looking for
Well, the
something.
latest one I sent in was the Wolf one. And it was
Okay.
just a photo of the sample of the tongue and groove.
Okay, okay, let me. So I have that. Okay,
Sorry, there's a junk phone call coming here.
that's okay. Tongue and groove. I'm still writing notes. Any more questions? Any other questions from commissioners? All right, I'd entertain a motion to accept the application for a certificate of appropriateness to replace the rotted wood porch decking with the Trex composite Wolf Serenity Porch Tongue and Groove that Ms. Quigley has submitted.
Yep. Vincent, I will make a motion to accept the application for 44 Fir Glade as it applies to appropriateness for replacement of the existing porch floor with Wolf Serenity Porch Tongue and Groove Weathered E-Pay.
Oh, there you go. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Is there any discussion on the motion?
I just want to state that we have not received any comments on this matter.
Oh, thank you for, please add our comments if I forget to ask.
No problem.
Okay, no comments on it? Okay. Any other discussion on the motion? Okay, let me go to the vote. Commissioner Kroll,
Yes.
Commissioner Finn,
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland,
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh is a yes. Is Commissioner Nardi or Duquette on, please? Okay, that passes. You're all set. Thank you for taking the time to find that material. That's excellent. And so
Okay,
you're passed. You're all set.
one question.
Yes.
When we go to get the building permit, if my guy can even do it before the winter now, because winter is coming,
Mhm.
can we just go ahead and get the building permit now without a piece of paper from you guys?
Well, Alvin, when would you be able to get the piece of paper from us? Would that be tomorrow?
Yes, I mean, or if they come in tomorrow for their building permit, I could just sign off on the building permit.
Okay,
go.
cool. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
You're
thank you very
All right.
much. You're all
Thank
set.
you. Okay.
Okay, 403 Maple.
That's me, I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Chimney cap and damper to existing chimney.
Yep.
Okay, was there any comment on that, Alvin? Any public commentary?
No comments received.
No comments received. And in between the meetings, there's no change in your plans? It's the same as you presented to us?
No, just the damper. I know at some point we need to get the, chimney rebuilt at some point or repointed, but that's just gonna be another,
Right,
gonna have to,
okay.
but that's not included.
Okay, this is just chimney cap and damper to existing chimney nothing changed since we spoke.
Mm-mm.
Okay. And there's no public commentary.
Okay.
Okay, so I'd entertain a motion. Sorry, I'm getting my papers mixed up. Entertain a motion for this application for certificate of hardship to add the chimney cap and damper to existing chimney. at 403 Maple.
So moved.
Yeah, actually, before you make that motion, Alvin, is there a potential for this for being appropriateness on a chimney cap or no?
Not sure. I mean, it's not really original to the structure, but obviously she, requires it for.
Yeah, no, right. Okay, well, just keep it under hardship. Okay, so it was so moved. Can I get a second on that?
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion on the motion? All right, hearing none, I'll call the vote. The vote, Commissioner Kroll,
Yes.
Commissioner Finn,
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland,
Yes.
and Commissioner Walsh is yes. Are there any additional commissioners on the call yet? Hearing none, that passes. So you're okay. It's passed, so you can do your cap and a damper.
Thank you.
All right. No, thank you very much. Okay, 97 Mill Street.
Yes, we're here.
Okay, this is to install a fence to the sidewalk. Was there any public commentary, Alvin?
So, well, before I state that there was no public commentary, but I also want to state that we need an additional commissioner to vote on this one. Walter Kroll would have to abstain because he isn't a butter. I'm not sure if we have enough commissioners at this time.
If it's okay, we'll just put this one aside and hopefully we can get another commissioner here. I hope the petitioner doesn't mind that we might have to delay. Otherwise, we can't act on it. We either have to push it out or otherwise.
Now, Commissioner Nardi did state he would make the meeting. He may be a little bit late. Actually, looks like he's here now. Looks like he's here, so we may can listen to the matter.
Okay, so this was, who has to abstain on this one? Hold on.
Okay.
Commissioner Kroll.
I do.
Okay.
One,
Okay.
I'm the butter.
Okay, I just want to make a note here. I know you're going to say abstain, but it'll be easier if I write it right now.
Commissioner Nardi, are you available?
Yep.
Commissioner Nardi,
You're on,
available?
Commissioner Nardi?
I'm here.
Okay, beautiful. All right, that makes us, we're able to move forward on this application for certificate of hardship to install a fence to the sidewalk at 97 Mill Street. They gave us a drawing and a proposal and the type of fence that they were going to install.
Yes, I have a copy.
Are there any other questions for the petitioner? No, hearing none. I entertain a motion to accept the application of hardship to install the fence.
I did want make a motion to accept the application as presented.
Okay. Can I get a second on that motion?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on the motion?
Yes, sir. I'd like to say something, please.
Go ahead, Commissioner McFarland.
I'm familiar with the property in Mill Street. Other properties around it do have fences that go out. It's also somewhat of a dangerous area, and I think the hardship reason is for public safety and security. I know that when I drive up in that area, I actually have people sometimes approach the car asking for money and this and that, as well as, there's a lot of crime down there. Personally, I would be in favor of allowing this hardship for the fence.
Okay.
Security circumstances.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Is anybody else? Okay, I see I've lost my own video. Let's see if I can get that back. You guys can hear me all right, though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So the motion has been made to accept the fence. Is there any other discussion? All right, let me call the vote. Commissioner Kroll? No, you're abstaining, right? Commissioner Finn?
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland?
Yes.
Commissioner Nardi?
Yes.
And Commissioner Walsh is yes. So with 4 votes, that passes. You'll be able to put your fence up.
Thank you so much.
No,
Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thanks.
you.
Have a good one.
Oh, you're very welcome. Let me see if I can get my video back. I'm not quite sure where it went. Let's try that. Nope, not that you wanted to see me anyways. I got a couple smiles from that one. Okay, let's see. All right, next is 35 Avon Place. This is a application for changing, removing, installing new vinyl Simons and 6100 series windows, white interior, white exterior. The hardship is that you can't afford historical windows. Okay, is there anything else that the petitioner would like to add to this?
No, I have white windows and I want to put some more in. That's what it is. It is what it is. I want to finish putting my windows in. The white ones are a lot cheaper than what you want. And I already have white and everybody on the street has white.
Any questions from commissioners?
I do. Mr. Ciano, refresh my memory, but the white windows that are present, did you put those in or were they there when you purchased the home?
No, I put them in.
And you had not come before the Historical Commission prior to this?
No, I went through Home Depot. Home Depot did not do it. That was the problem. And now I want to put the rest in. They went to you and you're denying me to finish the white windows. Then I put the ones that are there in 2 years ago.
Okay, thank you for that. Thank you.
Okay. It's not very common that we would approve white windows in a historic home like this. I mean, I'll entertain a motion. If there's no more commentary, I'll entertain a motion to accept the application and certificate of hardship for the windows as written here, white exterior windows. Mr. Cian, I know that you did some research into what other windows might be available or different colors, hopefully. Did you find anything that might be in a more appropriate window or color?
The brown were $12,000 compared to $5,000.
In the repair of windows?
What do you mean by repair?
Well, more often than not, I know the Home Depots and the Lowe's and the companies will never tell you, but the repair of wood windows is very often less expensive and nearly as efficient as replacing the windows with new windows. I didn't know if, I apologize for not remembering. The hard part about doing the two hearings on any given file is I don't necessarily remember the details that we heard the first time. So, had you looked into the potential repair of windows instead of the replacement of windows?
No, I did not.
This is a hard one. It's not.
Commissioner Walsh, I have one additional question.
Go ahead, Commissioner Finn.
Mr. Ciano, how many windows were replaced 2 years ago by Home Depot?
11.
And how many are you looking to replace?
8.
Now, is that the balance of the windows?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So the pictures make it look like, there's more than 8 windows left to be done.
On my first floor, I'm doing the first floor. That's where I live. And there's 8 more windows to do on the first floor.
On just the first floor. Okay.
How many are on the second floor, Mr. Ciano?
I don't know. That's my sister. She replaced hers 10 years ago, and I don't know how many she has left. I never really counted those because I don't pay for those. I don't do those We own it together. I take care of the first, she takes care of the second floor.
Right, but it doesn't look like the second was done with vinyl windows.
Yeah, yes,
Some of them are.
yes.
Unfortunately, here's the hard part for when we're for a commission like this. The white vinyl windows are not appropriate for the house. We always have to have a hearing and a vote. And the fact that anybody else has vinyl windows doesn't change our position, whether they did it, how they did it, or they didn't come before us, or whatever Home Depot says. However, I will entertain a motion, and we can take a vote and see where it falls.
Excuse me, gentlemen.
Yes.
My name is Ron Engelbrecht. I'm the Ronzoni that you asked to identify myself.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Go ahead, sir.
I am the territorial consultant for Home Depot Home Services,
Yes.
and I'm helping Mr. Ciano with this issue.
Thank you.
I have not been part of the regime when we put the windows in before.
Okay.
So I have no prior knowledge of the windows that we had installed before. We tried to pull up archive records to see if there was a historical application done and approved, and so far we haven't seen that.
Right.
So I might be able to clarify this and make everybody happy. The windows in question, I think the major issue is that you want windows that are not white, that you want them to be brown.
It's one of two major issues. You're right. Keep going.
So we have a vinyl window that we can put in that Mr. Ciano can afford. The only issue with the vinyl windows is that they do not have simulated divided lights, which in my past with historical district issues, you wanted that simulated divided light look, and the only company that has that is Anderson. So that's where the $15,000 jump in price comes from. Our proposal was that if you'll let us put the brown windows in for Mr. Ciano with the grids between the glass instead of three-dimensional, we will then take out the other windows that we put in without the proper authorization and fix those with the same like windows that are vinyl and brown with the grids between the glass.
Okay. That's a start. What's the general cost? I'm trying to see what the original windows might have been. What would they have been?
The original windows
like
were
6/1s?
Yes, yeah. The grid pattern is no reflection on the price. It's either grids or not grids.
Well, right, but the problem is that the internal grids are also not historically acceptable.
And okay, so well.
Oh, here we go. Here's a historic picture. But if they're 6/1s, then the adhering grid, putting external grid pattern, it should be possible.
The external grids.
Yes.
Okay, well then it is what it is. Then he's going to have to do Anderson's, and that's $15,000 for 8 windows.
Right. So there's no. Well, the reason I'm chuckling there, sir, is because we've seen it in the 8.5 years I've been on the commission many, many times where a contractor just either didn't know that there was a potential historical issue, but, and then expected that what they put in should be left alone, or they shouldn't be held to the standard that other people would be had they come to us first. And it's easier to work it out ahead of time. I would think a professional in your position would know that. And I know that you weren't there when they did this. That's not what I'm saying. But these historical, this is not new. This is not new stuff.
I agree.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. From what I just saw, there are storm windows on most of those, aluminum storm windows on most of those windows. Is that correct?
Well,
That
no.
looks upstairs. That looks like upstairs Al's sister's place.
Right.
Downstairs on the windows that I'm going to replace, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's probably 6 storm windows out of the 8.
All right. So when you replace that 8, the storm windows will be gone, or they will remain?
Right.
No, they will be gone.
They'll be gone. And the windows that you already replaced, the white ones, those do not have storm windows, correct?
Correct.
Okay. My reason for asking is because with the storm windows there, it'd be more difficult to notice that the muttons, or the grills that a lot of people call them, won't be as understandable that they were not three-dimensional. But with the storm windows gone, then you start to realize that you don't get the shadow line anymore. So that's why I wanted to clarify that. Okay.
Mr. Ronzoni, the windows that you're proposing, so you're proposing to take out the windows that were previously replaced, replace them with another window with the grid pattern sandwiched between the glass, but not a true simulated divided light. How close are those windows to the windows that have yet to be replaced upstairs? From a street level view, I guess.
If you're standing in the street, you're really not going to be able to tell too much unless the sun is at a specific angle, like the other commissioner had said, from shadow lines. Mm-hmm. Which is the main difference between three-dimensional grids and grids between the glass. But as long as the sun's not brightly shining directly on the windows from the street, you can't tell whether they're three-dimensional or whether they're between the glass. Hence the reason why they're so popular.
Right. So is it safe to say if you were to replace the windows with what you're proposing, that the house would be more cohesive with that option as opposed to just continuing with the white vinyl?
Oh, absolutely. I have I've dealt with historical commissions in many towns over the 10 years that I've been with the company. And we always try to satisfy what the original look is. I understand that brown is going to drastically change the look of the house rather than putting white windows on, which was unacceptable as far as I'm concerned with the company that I work for, that they did not done that to begin with. But the brown is going to make it very historical looking. It's going to change the whole atmosphere of the house. And with the grids between the glass in that top sash, you'll get a very historical look to it.
Right, and it's 6/1, not 4/1.
However the original picture was, I'll duplicate it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Sure. The main thing here, and the biggest debate here, is the only company that has a three-dimensional window is Andersen. And once you go to Andersen's, you're tripling the price because it's a wooden window. It's got the Andersen brand on it. And three-dimensional grids are 3 sections of grids. It's a fixed exterior, fixed in between the glass, and a fixed interior. So you're triple paying for the grid pattern. They charge by the bar for that.
I thought, I kind of looking for some other, because I thought there were other companies that could create a something that you attached, adhered to the exterior to simulate.
Not in that price range that Mr. Ciano can afford.
Let me just, okay.
On that one too.
What was that again, please? Okay, I'm just, the law establishing Springfield Historic District allows for inappropriate alterations, conditions especially affecting the building or structure involved, but not affecting the historic district generally. Application for hardship may be granted if failure to approve an application will involve a substantial hardship, financial or otherwise, to the applicant, and whether such application may be approved without substantial detriment to the public welfare and without substantial derogation from the intent of the purpose of the chapter. Okay.
So one added comment, gentlemen, if we go in and change those windows to brown exterior windows with the grids between the glass, it will be the most historic looking house on the block. All of his neighbors on the whole street have white vinyl, no grid, cheap windows in their homes.
Well, I guess that's not, that's a discussion we've gotten into several times in the last few meetings because people seem to think that, and I compare it to speeding. Just because everybody else is speeding doesn't mean you don't get a ticket if the cops stop you.
I'm with you.
But we can't, especially a professional like you, I just somehow don't know how we can convey enough to the Home Depots and the Lowe's and many, many independent contractors that there's, the historic commissions they're chartered by a state law. It's not, it's not, it's not my opinion, but
I'm with you.
But we see it a lot where they just do the job. It's more, they feel like if they get it done, then it's going to be easier if they just do it. And then we come back and have to deal with it instead of coming to us first. So my general disposition is not usually good. However, I do think that you have made some reasonable accommodation, and I think that's worth the commission at least listening to. I don't know, we still have to have a motion and a vote. If there's anything else you'd like to add?
I would like to just say that I did not realize the white windows were not acceptable, because when I put my windows in, everybody already had the white windows, so I never gave it a thought.
Okay.
Just to be honest with you.
That's okay. Lawrence, I'd rather have you be honest than anything else. Any other comment?
And if it makes a difference in the 12 years I've been working for Home Depot, now that I have this territory, we have never put windows in that was in my control that we have not gotten historical approval from or for before we actually even ordered the windows to be manufactured.
Well,
I have 4 other historical things going on with Mr. Alvin that have already been approved and are moving along. So, it's really not his fault.
No, yeah. Well, we will really appreciate it if that's the approach that is taken with the windows from now on, because that just saves both buyers, Home Depot and Springfield. Thank you, Ron. I appreciate that. Alvin, was there any public commentary on this petition?
No, we have no commentary for this particular matter.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to accept the application for a certificate of hardship at 35 Avon Place to change and remove and install brown vinyl windows with a 6/1 grid pattern. It would be in the interior grid pattern, in the glass grid pattern.
Comment?
Well, motion. I need the motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the application of hardship for 35 Avon Place, Springfield, Mass. to replace the existing white windows and original windows with brown vinyl 6/1 patterned windows.
Second. Okay, now, Commissioner Nardi, comment?
Does that motion include the homeowners offered to alter the application and replace the previously installed white windows that were not approved and replace those also with brown?
Yes, in fact, the way the Commissioner Finn just worded it included replacing the the previously replaced white vinyl windows.
Okay, all right.
Let me clarify, gentlemen.
Yep.
Home Depot will take responsibility and will suffer the cost of replacing the previous windows that we installed to bring them up to historical code.
Well, I appreciate that, and I hate to be a stickler for minor details, but remember that it's still not historical code. If it passes, it's a hardship agreement.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't mean that we would approve it for anyone else, or even the same house at a different, like if the sister went and did something. Anyway, but we do appreciate that. Any other discussion on the motion? Okay, let me call for the vote. Commissioner Kroll?
Yes.
Commissioner Finn?
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland?
No.
Commissioner Nardi?
Yes.
And Commissioner Walsh is a yes. We're going to let you do that under hardship because I think that's a reasonable improvement to make. But just keep in mind, no, it doesn't mean if you do any other windows in that house, it doesn't mean we're going to automatically approve them for that, or any house in the neighborhood or whatever anybody says. That is a one-time hardship, so you can continue, so you can make some changes to your home.
I have a question.
I think it's an improvement other than leaving the white ones there forever.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
One last question.
Yes, Commissioner Nardi.
Was a building permit issued to put in those windows?
That's a great question. I should have thought of it myself.
No, there wasn't.
No.
Okay. I believe because of the stretch code now that you will need a building permit. And
Yes, sir. We don't do any job without a building permit.
Right. So the building department is going to will stop you from starting until they see something from the Historic Commission that allows it. So just be aware of that.
Okay. And how do we get that certificate?
From our office.
Okay. Is it
So,
something that Mr. Alvin email me?
Alvin.
Yes, I'll
Alvin.
send out a certificate.
Correct.
However, again, if you come in tomorrow with your building permit, I'll sign off on it.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
No
Thank
problem.
you. Thank you.
Okay. 132 Washington Road, replace siding wood to vinyl. The application for certificate doesn't appear to be marked. If possible, I'd like to replace the wood siding with vinyl siding. Any public comment on this one, Alvin?
No, we didn't receive any public comment on this particular matter.
Okay, did we decide in our last meeting, was this going to be a hardship application or an appropriate application? It's not marked on the application.
I don't recall discussing it.
Well,
So
there was a issue of a couple different kinds of siding, and I think that one question, because it has clapboard and then it has shingles, and we asked I think somebody asked, might have been me, if they were looking at any different sidings to mimic what was up there. Is the petitioner on with us?
The petitioner is on, however, she's muted.
Oh, I see her. Yeah.
Unmute herself.
Okay. Okay, has there been any changes? The petitioner, do you have any changes or anything else? Can we unmute her? Can I unmute her, or do you have to do it?
She would have to do it herself. I've asked her to unmute herself, but I'm not sure.
You don't have the control over that?
I can't unmute. I can mute somebody, but I can't unmute them.
Oh, okay. Okay, we'll give her a few seconds.
If she doesn't respond, we can just move on to the next item. I'll try to contact her and see if we can figure it out, the technical difficulties.
Okay, where'd she go now? Oh, she went there. Okay, well, I'm going to put 130, 132 Washington Road aside for now. And I'm going to go to a new public hearing for 42 Garfield Street. This is a application for certificate of appropriateness for 42 Garfield Street, replacement of the garage doors. Existing garage doors are rotted through, have holes in the bottom panels, replaced with steel doors with carriage house panels, straps and handles as seen in the picture. And just for procedural things, this petition has to be continued to allow for public, so we can discuss it tonight, and then it will be continued. Then I will ask for a motion to continue to the next meeting, so we can get commentary into public comment. I'm going to just go over that again. Public comment will be taken in two segments. First, public comment will take place prior to the meeting discussion. The second public comment period will take place after the meeting, will remain open for 24 hours. To provide public comment in writing, mail the Springfield Historic Commission, 70 Tapley Street, Springfield, Mass. 01104, or email Allen, that's Alvin, at springfieldcityhall.com. And to provide for public comment by voicemail, 413-750-3223. Messages received will be played at the Historic Commission hearing or at a continued hearing date. All commenters should state their name, address, and company or organizational affiliation in addition to the items their comment pertains to. So since this is a new hearing, is there anything that the petitioner would like to tell us, just to fill us in on?
No, I think we are just requesting. Our doors are pretty much falling apart at this point, and
Yeah.
we were looking around the neighborhood, and the doors we're requesting are similar to what is existing on, new doors that have been put on in the neighborhood.
Right, and you were, I'm just looking through the pictures now, and you were, hold on. Were you going to have windows in your doors or no windows?
Yes, we put both before, but windows and no windows, but we would put the windows at the top.
Yep.
Similar to the examples that we put in.
Yeah, okay.
They're smaller doors than normal, I think, so they have to do the 3 set instead of 2 more rectangular shaped windows.
Okay. All right. Okay, so this is fairly straightforward. Any commissioners have questions of the petitioners?
I do. Ms. Plant, the windows that I'm looking at, these are sort of 2/2 patterns. Had you looked at any single pane options?
We just kind of picked that look. We didn't look at the single pane, I don't think, but I think we're flexible.
Or open, yeah.
Yeah, I say that only because obviously you've got, half of your door is windows if I'm looking at this historical picture. But it might be a bit more appropriate and less contemporary looking.
I think Commissioner Finn, I don't think you're looking at the historical. The doors they have are not those doors.
Okay.
I think this picture of the door with just 2 windows in the middle of it's what you have now, right?
Right, those were the doors that were on the house when we bought it.
Yeah.
The picture you're referring to is I think, when the pictures were taken of the homes, those were the doors. I don't know when these existing doors were put onto the house, but.
I see it now. Thank you.
Yeah, these almost look like classic 50s or early 60s doors.
Right.
So, okay. If there's nothing else to add, I'd entertain a motion to continue to the, what's the date of the next meeting?
November 5th.
So
To
moved.
the November 5th. Continue to November 5th. To allow for public commentary. I'd entertain that motion.
So moved.
Okay, is there any discussion on the motion? Okay, take the vote. Commissioner Kroll,
Yes.
Commissioner Finn,
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Nardi. Commissioner Nardi? And Commissioner Walsh is yes. So,
Yes.
you know, we obviously voted to continue, which is one of the things we have to do in order to have public commentary when we're doing Zoom meetings.
Sounds good. Thanks, everyone.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Guys, talk to you next meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and then Buckingham West Side Buckingham Street is, this is a application for certificate of appropriateness to build a new single-family home. And they've given us quite a lot of things to look at. Is there anything that the petitioner would like to tell us?
Hi, this is Robin Jones. I'm here with my daughter,
Hi, Robin.
Moriah Wilkins. Hi, Vinny.
I'm doing
And
good.
also my contractor is here to answer any technical
Okay,
questions.
thank you.
Or things needed.
Now, the plans that are here, there's been no changes. This is what we're looking at is all the plans, nothing different. We have a letter here from James Boone, a new construction West Side Buckingham. Dear Commissioners, I submit this letter as part of a comments for public hearing on the proposed construction of a new house on West Side Buckingham Street. I've been a resident of McKnight Historic District since 1976. The design for a new house is very well done and professional. It is the design of a modern version of a Victorian house with an addition to the left that is a bit more suburban. The scale of the house is good. The surrounding McKnight houses on Buckingham Street are the Queen Anne style brick. They're all 3-story houses, all similar design, proportion, and scale to one another. The uniformness of the design is what makes McKnight a rich architectural and historic neighborhood. Over the past 40 years, there have been 4 new houses built in McKnight Historic District, improved by the commission, one at 98 Cornell, one at 45 Thompson, one at 42 Thompson, and one at 130 Westminster. All of these approved houses have been of style, scale, and materials that are compatible with surrounding houses. While the design is of a good modern Victorian, a couple of changes could make it work in the neighborhood. I would suggest that the exterior facade not be covered with stone, but use clapboards or indoor shingles. This is more in keeping with the era and style. I would also suggest that the chimneys be brick to be consistent with the neighborhood. Historic district guidelines for McKnight say the guidelines have been adopted so that the individual character of each house will be respected and the integrity and visual cohesiveness of the neighborhood is retained. I think with a few changes, this house can be an addition to the neighborhood. The applicant has truly tried to listen to suggestion and design a house that meets their needs and respects the architectural integrity of McKnight Historic District. Thank you for your consideration. To the petitioner, has there been any changes relative to the stone or to the facade? Not hearing, is anybody?
No, nothing has been changed. What we submitted is, nothing has been changed from our original submission.
Okay,
Hold on,
so,
let, Kevin.
okay.
come on
All right,
back.
well, we just, as you know, we're going to have to continue this for public commentary. I read that public commentary in because I happen to have it already. And,
Mr. Chair,
yes, Commissioner Kroll, go ahead.
I just have a question I just want to clarify which set of plans, because I know there was an original set of plans and then a second set of plans.
That's correct.
Clarify that
This is the second set of plans. And what we're proposing is not to do stonework, but to do it in clapboard. I had already met with Howard.
Okay.
Which,
Okay, so the stone is out, the clapboard's in. That's good.
Correct.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
But
Any other questions from commissioners?
Question still is, which set of plans are we now going by? Is it the Cornerstone?
It is.
Design? There were two sets of plans presented. So one was Drummond House plans and the other one was Cornerstone.
Cornerstone.
Okay, that's what I thought. That was the second set. I just wanted to confirm that's what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
when we originally submitted to Alvin, we had heard comments locally that it was more of a 1920 style house. They wanted us to go a little bit much more to the neighborhood, so we found this property.
Yep, I just wanted to make sure we were looking at the same.
Right. Plan number 2. Okay, that's good to clarify. Anything else the petitioner or the Joneses would like to add? Any more questions from commissioners? I'd entertain a motion to continue the West Side Buckingham Street until the November 5th meeting.
I'll make
to
a
allow
motion
for public commentary.
I'll make a motion. Go ahead. Sorry.
Did I hear the motion?
I will make a motion to accept the application of appropriateness for Buckingham Street and to continue to the next meeting.
And I second.
Okay. Any discussion on the motion? Okay, hearing none, I'll take.
Hello. Hi.
Kroll.
Hi, I'd like to make myself known. Good afternoon. My name is Moriah Wilkins. I'm the daughter of Robin Jones.
Okay.
And the sister of Ariel Wilkins. Pardon me, but I just want to be very clear what exactly is pushing this to the next meeting and not allowing it to get approved today?
Well, it's in order to allow for appropriate public commentary. Every meeting has to be open. Every hearing has to be open to public comment. And in order to allow that under the conditions of, well, mainly due to the COVID and the virtual meetings, we're allowing for people to comment for the next 24 hours in like a couple of different ways. They're also going to be able to watch this because it's recorded, and they're going to be able to watch it on TV. And I did read. Were you on when I read how to comment, how the public commentary would happen?
Yeah. So this is my first time, so it's still a learning curve.
Yeah, no, it's okay. If we were meeting at City Hall, people would have been able to stand up and tell us their public commentary right there. And we wanted to make sure that people had appropriate access in order for public commentary. So since our March meetings, we have been virtual, and we have been allowing for the commentary in the way that we started. I announced at the beginning of the meeting how it would be. That's all it is. It doesn't mean anything good or bad about the application or up or down or anything. It just means that now we wait to see who wants to comment. And at our next meeting, we'll go over the commentary and then take a motion for a vote.
Thank you. I appreciate
So the motion is on okay? All right, thank you. This is a motion to continue to the November 5th, and it was properly seconded, and there was no discussion, and I'm going to call the vote. Commissioner Kroll?
Yes.
Commissioner Finn?
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland?
Abstain.
Abstain.
As a direct
Commissioner
abutter, I'm
Nardi?
going to abstain.
Okay, thank you very much. That's appropriate. Commissioner Nardi?
Yes.
And Commissioner Walsh is yes. So that's continued to the meeting on the 5th, at which time we'll review commentary, take any additional comments, and we'll have a motion to vote on at that meeting. Okay, Washington Road is we got her on? We don't have her.
I'm here. I'm here. Are you hearing me now?
I can hear you, yes.
I'm sorry. Earlier, I just missed the video.
It's okay. Hold on a second, though, because I don't have your file in front of me now.
Okay, I'm ready. No problem.
Okay, this is, we're going back to already continued hearing for to replace this 130, 132 Washington Road, replace the wood siding with vinyl siding. Okay, well, are there any questions by commissioners?
Yes. Like I'm say, either with the insurance company, so they deny for two company with because it's the wood siding been very bad shape and doesn't look clean at all. So their dwelling will be cost double compared with the I'm not say the vinyl with the wood. It just will be cost. The dwelling is double, but the cost for painting is already estimated up to $18,000 with replace some wood. With the vinyl siding is up to $25,000, but will be a lifetime. I don't want to be happening like 10 years later, the wood siding painting lasts up to 10 years. Then I will get the problem with financial to be another painting, $15,000-$20,000. Still doesn't look clean at all. My left side and the right hand and left hand neighbor have the aluminum. I don't know when they did that, but just considering that it is anything will be help me to be changed.
Okay.
Too many inconvenience, even with the price for cost, and still doesn't clean at all. You know, all the mice or something, the bug, or they can go through all the wood siding. Doesn't look healthy at all.
Okay.
So very concerned.
Well, we did review the pictures that you submitted with the condition of the siding.
Maybe the picture been like 25 years ago, but right now, if you get there and look it from the route up to the up to the second floor, it's been very, very sad looking, very poor. And insurance already denied 2 times. I have to pay way high, but they still concerned. Also, I contact with many construction, and you know, they say it's last 10 years for painting, and then another 15,000-20,000 to paint again. And where's the for that time we will be enforced to take care of good neighborhood, you know.
Yeah. Do any commissioners have questions?
Yeah.
Did we get any samples on what the replacement siding would look like?
I think my construction already followed Alvin. What he recommend is, they say vinyl, but have to be a wood look. They look like the wood, but it's vinyl. You know, that is what he explained to me. Like when you look from outside, it just look like the wood look, but it will be a siding. That is only way. Alvin,
I think that's what you submitted to him. Thanks, Alvin.
Yeah. Is there any contractor on here now for this petition? No. I mean, one of my questions was whether they would be able to mimic the clapboard on the bottom and the shingles on the top. I think that would give that would be, give the house a little more historic. I don't think I have. Do we have a historic picture of this house, Alvin?
Or my construction contact to Alvin, so I'm to know to answer more than what I know.
Okay, that's all right. We'll figure this out.
No, we don't have a historic photo on file for this house, unfortunately.
Okay. I mean, was it likely to been half clapboard, half shingle back then? Probably was. Any other commissioners have any comments or questions for the petitioner?
I mean, it's all the posts and the trim is very rough. It's scary.
Well, part of the problem I'm having with it is, are they going to use the same, is it going to be, like the trim boards, are they going to mimic the same trim boards to try and make it look as much like that original as they could?
Yeah,
right?
That's what they mean. They be matching what from original by wood. If they look at outside, at least it's make the neighborhood is nicer and nice and clean. It's the how look make the neighborhood is.
Well, yeah, I'm just talking about the details. When they go to replace your siding, first of all, are they going to remove the siding that's on there, or are they just going to cover it up?
What is was it the you recommend what to do? We follow. We follow.
Well, we really can't recommend what a.
I think is if they still clean and put the Tyvek and then add that in to make it nice and tight and close. This can be lock the bug or the any animal, you don't know, they can get in. So
Yeah,
it's just
okay.
if they touch, it be locked off or that clean stuff.
Okay. No other comments from commissioners?
I'm just concerned that we don't have the contractor on, so my concern is how the work would get done and what the scope of work states and how the siding would be applied.
In mine as well. Are they gonna mimic the trim boards the way they are?
There's a lot of,
that would be.
I hear the petitioner being very faithful, and I believe, but she's not going to be doing the work. The contractor is.
How about, when are we going to time out on this one, Alvin? Let me see. It's the.
So the application
We can go 1 week.
September 3rd. So it's 60 days from that time period.
So before it'll time out before the next meeting.
That's correct.
Yeah, boy. Okay. Do you think it's possible for us to well, I know it's possible, but I'm thinking that maybe if it's something that we can get an upvote on, that it be, can we do a conditional approval on the current trim and things be mimicked as opposed to just covered over. I'm not sure how to word it, but that's what I'm thinking, because the siding, obviously the house's siding's in tough shape, but to just cover it, I'm having a little bit of a wrestling match with that.
Has a contractor been chosen?
Yep. No, has a contractor been chosen? Do you know who's going to do the work for you?
so far is with the vinyl and the window is they recommend to be aluminum.
No, I mean, what's the company that's going to do it for you?
Dan Construction. Dan.
Okay.
Yeah, DANs.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's Alvin will submit you something you need, and with Dan's construction information, and he will give you more information like how he can do it.
Do you think he would be willing to attend our next meeting so we could ask him questions directly?
I will try. Earlier today he remind me about the meeting, and I asked him, did you want to go a meeting? He say if you need him. So I let him know for next meeting, and he will be with us.
Okay, you could ask us for an extension of this application so that we can.
So yeah, you can ask for a 30-day extension. The homeowner's on the call, so she can, if she agrees to that. And again, I would also need that in writing. So if you could just send me an email, just requesting a 30-day extension. That'll give you some more time to meet with your contractor and sort out the details.
So would you be able to do that? Put in writing to Alvin that you'd like a 30-day extension, and then have your contractor on the November 5th call with us?
Sure.
Okay, that would be great.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Do we need a motion relative to this, Alvin? I don't think so.
No, you could, well, a motion to continue.
Okay. All right. Well, I'd entertain a motion to continue the application for certificate, well, there's no mark here, regarding 130, 132 Washington. To continue to the November 4th. So moved. A second?
Second.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on the motion?
Discussion is that I'm understanding that the continuation is because the homeowner is planning to request the extension post with.
Correct.
Okay.
Extension and have her
Contractor available.
on with her. Yes.
I guess I would add a little caveat.
Any other discussion?
I'm sorry. I would add a caveat that if we do not receive the letter of extension, then the application will be denied.
So, yes, I
So
agree.
moved, all right? So moved and seconded. Okay, any discussion on the motion? Okay, Commissioner Kroll,
Yes.
Commissioner Finn,
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Nardi,
Yes.
and Commissioner Walsh is yes. So we voted to continue that. However, if you do not request in writing for an extension, then your application will be denied. So make sure you put that in writing to Alvin, and then see us on the 5th with your contractor, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm dropping things here. Okay, where are we? We're at preservation agreements, 1 Allen Street, installation of 3 antennas. So who's here? Who's with Allen Street?
We have Mr. Carl Gehring.
Oh, Carl, you got to unmute your microphone there and talk to us.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, Carl Gehring on behalf of Verizon Wireless. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. Verizon has been on this site for 16 years, roughly, and they are always trying to improve existing sites before they go and build a new one in the neighborhood somewhere. And so at this time, with extra demand for wireless and extra capacity needs and so forth, they want to add 3 more antennas to their existing installation. Keeping in mind that these are trade fixtures, we are not proposing any permanent alteration to the building. They can be removed and taken away when we're done with our tenancy or if technology were to change, so that they are completely temporary in nature, and they will go up. These 3 new antennas will go up in the same location up above the tower there where the existing antennas currently exist.
Yeah, okay. All right. Any questions from commissioners? Because this is an application for certificate for work under preservation agreement. No increase in height or increase in horizontal extension, no changes in ground equipment are proposed, no site plan changes, simple rooftop transmission equipment work only. Okay, any questions from commissioners of the petition? Go ahead, Commissioner.
Mr. Chair, I just had a question. I know the petitioner doesn't own the building, but where the towers are today, there does seem to be some decay with the brick. I'm not sure how these are mounted. I'm sure they have their own structure that's up there. Have you guys been up to where these are? Is there any concerns that you have with where these things sit today with the top of those buildings?
My understanding is, I have not personally been up there, but my understanding is they're mounted on pipe mounts that are mounted to the mortar, and they check on these, and they would never let their equipment be at risk of falling or having any kind of a problem. So we have to withstand wind loading and so forth, and that's something that when it was first installed would have been part of the original building permit application, structural engineers and so forth. So that can be, I can make a note that they check on that, but I feel very confident that there's no risk with our equipment going anywhere.
Okay. Any other questions of the petitioner? Okay. I entertain a motion to accept the application for certificate for work under the preservation agreement at 1 Allen Street regarding the installation of antennas. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, so any discussion on the motion?
Is this, I just have one question, Mr. Chair. Are we making a decision on this today, or is the vote to push it to the next meeting as well?
No, this one is not a continuance. We don't have to continue this. This is one we can vote on immediately.
Thank you.
Because it's a work under a existing preservation agreement. If you ever, I mean, I know we've all driven by there. I drive by there a couple times a week, and that has been antennas all along. It doesn't sound like they're going to change any other look, and there's so many there, nobody's probably counting when they drive by. So truth is, I don't really have an issue with it, as long as it's not something that looks completely different.
It's just a procedure.
I'm getting a...
Understand. Thank you.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's in order them to make the change, we have to approve. So any other discussion? Okay, Commissioner Kroll?
Yes.
Commissioner Finn?
Yes.
Commissioner Finn?
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland?
Yes.
Commissioner Nardi?
Yes.
And Commissioner Walsh is yes. Okay, so that's been approved.
Thank you very much for your time.
Great, thank you.
Mr. Allen, then, is there some paperwork I need to follow up with you on, Mr. Allen?
Yes, I'll try to get that to you in the coming days.
Okay, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
All right, you as well. Take care.
Okay, we have under preservation of historically significant buildings, we have 2 demo delays, and they're both being requested by belief, so we can probably talk about them both at the same time, except that they have to be 2 separate votes. The first is to lift the delay in 122, oh no, wait a minute. 22 Broad Street. I can't. The other is, I can't, was somebody just speaking? Because it wasn't really coming through. Is it Jeb Belize? That's not, we can't quite hear?
No, I was not speaking, but the other one's Norwood Street. Forgive me, I can't remember what number, but it's Norwood.
It's okay. I got the number here. It's 21.
Yes, thank you. 21.
Okay. So I have a letter from the South End Citizens Council, Springfield Historic Commission. It's dated October 14th. I'm writing in support of the project proposed by the Belize Company. This project includes the demolition of 2 houses in the South End. In the case, these houses are unoccupied and are deterioratingly bad shape. These houses are a problem to the neighborhood as they are constantly being broken into and used for drug activities. The neighborhood has been fighting an increase in drug activity. The demolition of these properties will help us in this fight. The Belize Company has been in the South End for over 100 years and has always produced first-class properties that has enhanced the neighborhood. The Belize family has supported this neighborhood with every project we've ever worked on and has continued to believe in the neighborhood by continued investment in the South End. We would appreciate your support with this project and the demolition of these 2 homes that have been a blight on our neighborhood and would help our South End move forward. Sincerely, Leo A. Florian, President of the South End Citizens Council. Commissioners, any comments or questions? No comments or questions?
Mr. Belize,
Okay.
I'm assuming the demolition is further your project?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the reason is here in the application. Any other commissioners with questions or comments? Okay, if you see none, I'd entertain a motion to release the demo delay, to approve of the release of demo delay for 22 Broad Street.
So moved.
Okay, second.
Second.
Any discussion on that motion?
Yeah, I'd like to just mention that Jeb has always worked with both the local councils and civic associations in the neighborhoods where he's building things, as well as always worked with the historical commission to make sure that everything was done right. I just wanted to mention that.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner McFarland. Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none, I'll call the vote to release, to lift the demo delay. Commissioner Kroll?
Yes.
Commissioner Finn?
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Nardi?
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh is yes. I'd also entertain a motion to lift the demo delay on 21 Norwood Street.
I'll make a motion to lift the demo delay on 21 Norwood.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion on that motion? Okay, hearing none, I'll call the roll. Commissioner Kroll?
Yes.
Commissioner Finn?
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Nardi?
Yes.
And Commissioner Walsh votes yes. Okay, we voted on both of those, Mr. Belize, to release the demo delay. And, you know, thank you for everything you do for the neighborhoods, and we know you're always concerned with potential preservation if you could. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. I very much appreciate it. And we're looking forward to getting the project done and really living up to all the commitments to the Citizens Council as well. So I think that Main Street will have a good neighborhood feel to it when we're done.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Thanks again.
Okay, you're welcome. We have one other matter, 34 Mattoon Street, removal of current and unapproved front yard fence.
I'm sorry, we skipped over one.
What did I miss?
the gun block, 473, 477 State Street.
Oh, wow. Back up there.
You're on an old agenda.
I am. The only thing different, I'm on the agenda where I get to read about how they comment, and the
There you
only
go.
thing missing,
Nope.
the only thing missing from it is the gun block.
There you go.
Sorry about that gun block. Patiently waiting for the gun block. Well, let's do that right now. 473, 477 State Street.
Yep, and this is again for the gun block local historic district preliminary report to be sent to Mass Historical Commission.
Okay, let me just read this. Develop Springfield. Dear Historical Commission members, the gun block at 477 State Street is one of the oldest commercial blocks in Springfield. It's on the National Register of Historic Places as part of the gun hover block.
You want another drink? Yeah, have one more. What are you drinking?
We have received CPA assistance to stabilize the deteriorating structure.
Can we get a mute on Christopher's phone?
The Community Preservation Committee requires that we take steps to ensure that the exterior building is protected in the future, requesting that you begin the process to create a single building in the local historic district for the property. So, Alvin.
I'm on. I'm sorry. I was having trouble getting unmuted.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
All right, Alvin, this is just to okay, what is it we're looking for today on this one?
So again, Chris Russell is on the call from Develop Springfield. He is petitioning for this matter. Again, with my assistance, I put together the preliminary report at his, at the request of Develop Springfield. So you guys are just reviewing the document and just, seeing if the property is historically significant. If you feel as though it is, then you guys would send it to, or vote on it tonight to send it to Mass Historic to start the process of creating a new local historic district at that location.
Okay.
Correct. Thank you, Alvin. Yes.
All right, thank you, Alvin. Clearly, this is a historically significant building. I don't think that's in question in any way, shape, or form. So I would entertain a motion to send that to the Mass Historic.
So move. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Commissioner Kroll?
Yes.
Commissioner Finn?
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Commissioner Nardi?
Yes.
And Commissioner Walsh is an absolutely as well. Okay, that passes to send that report.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you. Okay, did I miss anything else? Okay, let's see. Two different, Allen Street, okay, Broad Street, Norwood State. Okay, so we have two more, 34 Mattoon. Which is...
The property owner sent an email stating that he could not make the meeting tonight. Whether or not you guys still want to move forward. Again, I received comments from neighbors stating that, they understand that he may have so the comments from the property owner is that he has the fence. However, the fence hasn't been installed because there's some issues with the contractor. But the folks that live in the neighborhood feel as though that, regardless of whatever these issues are between him and his contractor, the unapproved fence that still stands should be removed forthwith. And basically, they want the commission to send a letter stating that the fence should be removed forthwith.
Okay, now when did he say he was going to have it done by?
He didn't state exactly when, but again, he came in over a year ago to, so I would have given out a stop work order. However, when I went out to give the stop work order, the contractor was on site, so I had a discussion with him about the unapproved fence. That's at that point, he talked to the owner, the homeowner came before you guys, And he, realizing that you guys weren't going to approve what he had there currently,
Right.
He stated that he would mimic the fence that's next door, which is like a 3-foot tall wrought iron fence. And so, again, the neighborhood's basically stating that, the unapproved fence should be removed.
Okay, and he hasn't, and that was, he's not requested any extensions or any communication whatsoever. Okay. Oh, I'm certainly in favor of sending a letter, but I mean, is it something where we say, ask him to come back to a meeting, that we would like this fence removed immediately, return to a meeting if he has extenuating circumstances? I guess what I'm saying is, should we give him an opportunity to come to a commission meeting and tell us what he can do, when he can do it, and what's going on? Part of me thinks we should do that. Otherwise, any suggestion, we can vote on anything. Say that again, Alvin. I didn't hear it. Broke up.
You can certainly push it to the next meeting, and if for whatever reason there's a pattern of maybe he's not showing up to the meetings, then you can make a decision. It's up to you guys, however you want to move forward.
Well, could we do something as simple as sending him a letter inviting him to the next meeting and hoping he shows up?
That's fine.
Any other suggestions from commissioners?
Might be prudent to restate what's already been asked of him, since it hasn't happened.
Agreed. Anybody else? Okay, well, I'd entertain a motion to send a letter, pointing out what he has agreed to, what hasn't been done, in that we would like him to come to the next meeting to explain, what he's going to do to remedy the situation. Is that possible, Alvin? Something like that?
I mean, again, that's possible, but I guess from the neighbor's standpoint, the unapproved fence doesn't need to remain. They want to see it gone. So again, whatever the situation is, so I guess pushing it down further, I don't know if that appeases the folks who are.
Well, right, but what action can we take? What are we going to do? Send a letter to the law department asking for them to send something to him to immediately remove the fence?
I guess you could give them a 30-day warning to remove the fence. Otherwise, the law department then will get involved.
Okay, either way is okay with me. I would sometimes rather err in letting somebody talk before we take that particular type of action. Yep. But, if commissioners want to take that particular type of action, I'm also not against it. I'll go either way on this one. But, you guys know me for a long time. I've always wanted to give somebody that chance to talk and tell me what's on their mind. Hey. But I have no objection to issuing a letter to have that 30 days removed, or we're going to refer it to law. Either one.
I think the 30 days is a good idea, especially with the pandemic going on. You have no understanding what's happening for him. So I think that's a great idea.
Well, which one? But the 30 days is saying you got 30 days to remove it, or we're going to refer it to law department, or are we going to just say to him, come to the next meeting, here's what you said you did, you didn't do it, come to the next meeting and explain what's going on.
I think within those 30 days.
Well, make that motion, Al. That'd be great, Commissioner.
Well, I'd like to move that we give him 30 days to either come in and explain what's happening or remove the fence. If not, it'll be referred to the law department.
Bingo. Second.
Okay. I like that. Any discussion on that motion? Okay. Commissioner Kroll?
Yes.
Commissioner Finn?
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland? Commissioner McFarland?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Nardi?
Yes.
And Commissioner Walsh? Yes, okay. You can put that letter out. And then the last thing, unless I've got another bad agenda here, the last thing I have is 78 Baldwin Street, restoration of a front porch. And that would be, let's see. and I know you're on. You're muted. You can unmute yourself now if you'd like. How you doing tonight, sir?
Great.
Okay, so I'm reading. You're requesting an extension to address the necessary repairs still needed for your porch. So tell us what you want to do moving forward.
Well, we need another extension. What it is that we did have contractors lined up initially to do the porch. And what happened was during the winter, we had our pipes break. So we ended up gutting our kitchen, redoing all of our kitchen and the plumbing in the house. And from there, it's been one thing after the next. So kind of ate up a lot of the funds, but we still have plans to do it. So that's basically where we're at. And then trying to get a hold of the people to get new quotes. They haven't been forthcoming and returning back to even come give us the quotes. So that's been part of the struggle right now. So, but I actually, my sister it's her house now. So I've turned over ownership to her, but I still stay here with her. So.
Okay. That kind of changes this a little bit, that you change the ownership. How much time do you think you're going to need to get back to the previous agreement?
The struggle, my name is Demetrius Brown.
Nice.
The struggle has been, as he mentioned, getting a contractor or a carpenter out here. We've had a couple agree to come and give us quotes, but then they no-show. And then it's been even more challenging during this season. The ones that we did briefly talk to that said they would come out and give us a quote, they're like, man, we're really busy. Business is booming, and we're waiting and nobody shows up. And so even the guy who gave us the most detailed quote, we have been unable to get back a hold of him, and that's been like 2 years. So I don't know if he's still alive. He's an older guy, but
yeah, that'd be a problem.
yeah, he's not answering emails or phone calls or anything. So.
Okay. Are you, and let me just turn it over to commissioners right this minute. Are there any commissioner questions of the I don't say of the petitioner, of the homeowner?
Yeah, I'd like to say a few words, please.
Go ahead, Commissioner McFarland.
Well, these are two upstanding members of the community here in McKnight, and they have that hard story that we often see a lot of times of getting burned by contractors. They're here presenting themselves in front of us, wanting to do the right thing. I think that should be held into a consideration. I do want to mention they serve in a volunteer capacity on the McKnight Neighborhood Council with myself. So I wanted to disclose that information, and they're not involved in business with me. And as friendly acquaintances, they are not great friends that, come visit me all the time and whatnot. So I don't believe that I have a conflict of interest, but if there is a commissioner who believes that that might be a conflict of interest, I wanted to disclose that information just from seeing their good works throughout here in the community.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner McFarland. Alvin, what are our options here?
So there's, I guess, two options. Either you can tell him that he needs to, again, it's been over a year, and the previous agreement was that he was going to repair the items within a year. You could tell him that he needs to repair it. I guess give him 30 days, and then if he doesn't repair it in 30 days or start the process, then refer it to the law department. Or your second option is to give him, allow him the extension if you feel that his hardship is sufficient.
Okay, all right.
Can I make a comment, Chair?
Absolutely. Go ahead, Commissioner Kroll.
Just from someone who's in commercial real estate and build outs, what they're experiencing is happening all over. I'm sure you've seen this, Vinny, with some of the residential build outs.
I sure have, yes.
Process, it's changed availability of lumber, it's driven costs up exponentially. I have commercial deals that are delayed because of build outs, because contractors are straight out. People are building on to their existing homes. So, if it was pre-COVID and, that would be one thing, but, from an industry perspective, contractors are straight out, costs have risen, just getting material has changed. And it's created a lot of timeline issues. So I would be up for some kind of an extension just based on the environment that we're in as far as contractors and availability of timelines.
Make a comment?
Okay, well, that broke up a little bit, but I think we got your point. Any other commissioners? Yep, go ahead, Commissioner Nardi.
Just so everyone knows, whatever extension we grant is just a historical commission extension. If there's any building permit extension or any building permit that was issued, it's going to expire as well. So the building department would have to be contacted regarding what you deal with them.
Good point.
Right. I certainly have no objection to granting extension, but I'd like to have some idea of how much time you think you need. What time frames are we thinking about? So,
if I may,
Ms. Brown, yes, you certainly may.
I tried to get a quote last week, and like I said, the guy didn't show up. We're going into winter time. And so, and I reached out to contractors via Thumbtack. Nobody is responding. Some people that do respond, they say, we don't want to touch historic houses. And so I'm like, the one guy that did respond 2 years ago, he said $85,000.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, I know some of that's out of here. And I actually was supposed to meet a plumber the other day and he just never showed up. And he just said, well, I had work to do. And I'm going, but you said you were going to be there. So I understand this firsthand. My position is, I think we should issue some extension of time in which the Historic Commission will take no action, given all the circumstances. But, I'm thinking maybe 6 months. And but anybody make any suggestion? This is my suggestion, that we give 6 months before we'll take any adverse action, and that would give you time. And in the meantime, if you get somebody, come before us, show us what you have, and then we can move forward from there. We can work together to move it forward, so you don't have to feel kind of that pressure. But we have to give some kind of time. We have to put some kind of time on it. So that's my suggestion. Go ahead, Commissioner Nardi.
I would put it a year, because it could take you 4 or 5 months just to find the person to do the work. And now you're at a time where you don't want to do the work.
Yeah, I was thinking that 6 months was for them to get it together, not to necessarily get it done. So I see where you're going.
Okay.
If 6 months to have something before us that we agree is a plan moving forward.
Oh, okay.
That's that's actually what I was thinking. This is, I'm not sure the answer to this. Any other commissioners have any comments?
Chairman Walsh, I would support a 6-month extension, provided there was a go-forward plan at some point within that time frame.
Okay. Ms. Brown, do you think that's something that you'd be able to, 6 months give you a chance to put a plan together and give you some time to work in finding contractors? Yeah.
I'm going to do my best. I'm going to see if the last guy who no-showed just had a lapse of memory, and maybe he can come and give us a plan and a quote so that we could readdress this at an appropriate time.
Yeah, and at any time that you get that, you should come before us and just say, here's our plan, and then we can address that at the time. If that's the case, I'd entertain a motion to give a 6-month extension to Ms. Brown to get her to, interview contractors, do whatever she has to do to have a plan in place to make the repairs as originally approved by the commission.
So moved.
There's a second? Did I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion on that motion? Okay, hearing none, I'll call the roll. Commissioner Kroll?
Yes.
Commissioner Finn?
Yes.
Commissioner McFarland?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Nardi?
Yes.
And Commissioner Walsh is yes. So, Mr. Johnson and Ms. Brown, just do what you can, put the, take time, get people in place, come before us and let us know what you're doing.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. No, keep trying. All right.
The porch needs it. We totally get it.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right.
All right. Okay. All right, is there anything else? That's it. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
All right, any discussion? I don't know, all in favor?
Amen.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Good to see you.
Good night.
Good night.
Take care.
All right, you guys have a good night.